On today, guys, welcome back to the channel. I know it has been a minute, so it's finally, sorry about that, it's finally become the time that I decided I'm gonna have to work on this truck. And so we're gonna do a vacuum pump on this thing, so hold tight. I'll get some tools together, get the hood popped. But here's our vacuum pump seal kit. We're just going to take the vacuum pump off, put some seals in it and some O-rings, and hopefully that fixes the issue. So there we go. Show y'all this loop that we got going on. Alright, so our vacuum pump is right down here. Y'all can't really see it. I might be able to show y'all from the bottom. We got a couple things we need to address. This video is going to be one of them, but have a transmission leak right here. This line is dripping fluid. I've noticed it since it's been parked here. And then all this oil residue all over the truck bottom is all coming from our vacuum pump up here. Let's see if I can get up closer so y'all can see. I don't know if y'all can see that or not. It's kind of dark, but shine some light on the subject so y'all can see it. But yeah, the bottom of our vacuum pump is just covered in oil. So we're going to try to get that thing ripped out of there. See if we can get it resealed. Rounded up with some tools, and first we're going to get this Banks high ram out of the way. We'll get intercooler pipe out of the way, and we'll start there. So first I'm going to take the old boot loose. Probably don't need to take both sides loose, but we're taking both sides loose. And that's great. Alright. There we go. That's exactly what you need to do right there. If you drop it down in the engine bay, then you probably won't ever find it again. Alright. I have to say, these Banks high rams are not very easy to take back off. Well, I didn't put it on either, but that's better. Well, now we'll have to take our washers off. They might come off pretty easy, they might not. There we go. And the other bolt we dropped underneath here somewhere. I don't think I heard it hit the ground, so that's always, you know, terrible. We'll get back with you guys. I decided to give up on the search for the lost nut because I figured when I have the vacuum pump off, maybe it'll give me a little more room to find it. everything loose. We just got to get our boot to come loose here. Find y'all a good spot. I'm gonna go find my stand. Alright, y'all are on the stand now, so maybe I can get something accomplished here. Stuck on there pretty good, but get it unstuck. Here, pull it off. Now, get these washers up, take them off. Alright guys, we got it off here. Take it, set it over here out of the way. Before we put this together, we might end up doing a cleanup on it just to make it look a little cleaner, but we got that out of the way. Get down there with a wrench or a ratchet. Might be able to get that bottom line loose, or bottom clamp loose down here. Get y'all camera so y'all can see what I'm looking at. Right down there where my socket is, you can see my socket hanging off of it. I'm gonna get that. We can get this all out of the way and then we don't have to worry about it. Just, you know, we got room, but if we can have a little more, it probably won't hurt, guys. So, room never hurt anybody. So down there's my intercooler, so we'll get something down there done. Alright guys, right here, we took it loose right here because I was able to get electric impact on it, because no one likes to use wrenches if they don't have to. So we got that. So now should be able to pull that right out. I don't know how good that angle is for y'all, but it doesn't have to be too great. Like I said, a lot of this stuff we're gonna try to clean up so it looks a little bit cleaner when we go back together with it, guys, because that is just filthy. We might even, I might take them up to work. I got some cleaner up there I might try using on it. Try cleaning all that, and might clean this up. Man, we're clean inside here, guys. I hear a lot of people talking about how their heaters get, I guess, filled with soot, but this grid heater is really clean. So I don't know, maybe it's just how certain people run it. I don't know, maybe it's if you're running a lot of horsepower. This truck is basically stock, besides the Banks kit. It has this Gil Banks engineering kit or whatever, has a torque converter and some other things in it. We got to put a we got to order a heater core and an evaporator for the truck. Both of them are leaking. So we're in Texas, okay, guys? It is like 100 degrees out here right now, and we got to have that stuff working. That's like #1 priority. So we'll get those two things fixed. But for right now, this video is all about the this vacuum pump. We got to get it done. So we do the vacuum pump today, then I'll get the dash stuff ordered and we'll do the dash part of the job. And then there's one other, oh, we got to get the starter off here, guys, and we have to put a solenoid on it because sometimes the truck doesn't want to start. It just clicks. So we're gonna put a solenoid kit on it and see if that fixes that issue. So So I don't have a catch pan here, but we do have this wash bucket. So we're going to put that under there. Hopefully it catches a little bit. Hopefully most of it. I mean, we already got a leak. We already got a mess we got to clean up. So, which I can't say much for this concrete anyhow. But anyhow, we got to get, I think what we're going to start with here, we're going to start by taking all the lines loose on the power steering pump, because we got to get it out of the way. So we'll probably take it all loose, pull it out of there, and then so we'll get to that. There's a couple clips on the back of it, like right here. I can't see, I don't know if y'all can see that well. There's a clip right here, those ones pinch with the old pliers, and then one here, and then there should be one that screws in also. So see if we can get it all torn out. Alright, so you just squeeze the clamp. It's just a basic clamp. You squeeze it, pull it back just like that. From, you can see where it was at. And then if you can't get it off by hand to break it loose, you can take your channel locks, open them up. Let me get this adjusted real quick. One thing I've noticed about a GoPro is that if you have a GoPro, it zooms in. This aftermarket Azazo that I use, it doesn't zoom in. So but you just grip it and move it back and forth just like that. So I'm gonna work on that and set y'all down. Guys, got the clamp, move back, and we can just slip it off there. So fluid's gonna come out. So you wanna make sure you have your catch can under here so you can catch some of it, which we got it as close as we can get it. Most people have better catch cans than that, but we're gonna pour that right out of there. Let that pour out. Maybe it does. Good. Probably won't hurt to put some new power steering fluid anyhow. So we'll get this next hose off here. Alright guys, I finally turned it enough. I was able to pull it off. And then we got that one right there. It's covered in oil, but we got that one, I guess, line nut we got to take loose. And I'm going to assume, alright guys, I don't know if y'all can see what I'm seeing. I can't really see the camera, so the back, this bolt is actually an 18 instead of 17 like I thought it was. So I got it loose. See if I can get down there too. Y'all can't see much there. Alright, so we got that line loose. That gets all three lines loose right there. So now, since all three are loose, we need to get the 4 bolts loose. There's 1 bolt, 2 bolt, and then 3 bolt 4 on this side. So, but there's first, you got to get the nut off first to get the wiring loose. Man, this light is terrible, guys. I'm sorry about that. Right there. See, that's better, but you get this bolt off, or this nut off first. Then you can pull the line out of the way and get the one that holds the pump onto the vacuum pump. Alright guys, you can kind of see them right there. There's the bottom one and the top one. So, get the light put somewhere. I'll point it out. So there's your bottom one right here. and your top one's right above it, which you can see that one from the top. Probably going to get the bottom one down here, take it loose with the wrench, and we'll go back up to the top and get that top one loose, and then we'll just slide that assembly out. Alright guys, it is locked back over here. So now, maybe y'all can see this. Y'all can see where I'm talking about that nut you gotta take off. Take it off. Then you can get your wiring out of the way. So then you can actually take those, there's 4 nuts, these 2, and then there's 2 on the exact, about the exact same spot on the other side. Alright guys, so they are all 15s. I've gotten this one and this one. I got them broke loose so I can spin them off. Okay, so I know there's one on that side. I'll have to crawl under there and get that other one probably because you can't see it from up here. That one out of the way. And then there. I dropped y'all. Sorry about that. Okay. I'll have to wrench this one off. Got the nut off the back here for y'all can barely see it, but it's right there. I can't. It's hard to see, but this is the back one, engine side bottom, and then we're about to do engine side top. So we got 2 of them off, and then one of them came out with a stud. So now we just got to get this top one over here off. Get my go get my handy dandy flashlight again. Left it under here. All right, get my flashlight. Alright, now get my 15 wrench and my rag. Crawl back up here. Alright, so, and again, we're working on, it's right back there. So, I'm going to start getting that loose. Guys, power steering pump should be loose. That top bolt there, kind of a pain in the butt. Just to heads up for y'all that are gonna do it. But we got it loose. So I'll pull that out of there. Maybe. All down. So what it looks like is we got some teeth up here on the front. That's what does the gear. So you'll have to line those up going back in. And those teeth right there. So set that bad boy down. This might be one of those things we clean up before we put it back in because it is covered in grease and oil. So would probably be best just to buy new ones, but me, I'm just trying to save a little money and hoping that when I do this, it helps y'all save a little money. So next is the vacuum pump, and since we got all this room now with that power steering pump going, there should just be a couple bolts, and it shouldn't be too bad. But that's the seal we're replacing. It's inside there. I don't know if we can see anything. I'll put a light down there. Shine some light on the old subject. So there should be a seal inside here. I can't see anything, so I'll have to look at it here in a second. But there should be a seal, and we will pull this vacuum pump off, and that's the seal we should be replacing. So first bolt, right there. You can see it. I don't know if you can. It's holding the harness on. Right there. Take it off. The harness gets out of the way. That's a 10 millimeter, and the one under it, I'm not sure the size yet. It should be a 15. Still down here where y'all can see. Alright, so a 15 would fit, but I don't have one. So a 5/8 also fits. It's just a little loose. See if I can get it. Right there. I don't know if y'all can see very well, but there's our first one on the top, and then I'm hoping if it goes right, there should be just one on the bottom. Let's go down there and look real quick. So, and we do have a mess down here because we took the line loose. I did not mention, but so this line right here, I couldn't get it. Dang, light. Okay, the line that goes in the bottom of the vacuum pump right here. It's hard to see. I'm sorry. I gotta go up there and turn that light off. It goes in the bottom of the pump here. It was spinning. Wouldn't come loose. So instead of doing that, if you look right up in there, it's kind of hard to see. There is where it goes into the side of the block, and it is the I'm pretty sure it's the oil drain. So it goes back out right there. So it's either the oil drain or oil feed. Not 100% sure, but it comes out right there. And let's see if I can zoom in. Right there, there's a little fitting coming out of the block. So I took it loose there because it would come loose, and it was a 9/16, I think. Yeah, it was a 9/16. So we got it loose, but there's our other bolt right there. We get that. That's also a 15. We'll get it loose. We're gonna use 5/8, but it's a 15. We're gonna loosen it out, and then our vacuum pump should come on. Okay, that's not it up there. I don't know why I said it was on. It should be like right underneath this harness here. I don't know if y'all can see. I can't see, so I assume y'all can't see. But right behind that harness, there should be another 15. Alright guys, I got this 15 out. I actually ended up finding a 15. I just had to dig a little harder for it and put an extension on it, but I found a 15. It did go like right there, so I'll pull it out and show y'all it real quick. See if we can get back up here. It should just slide right off. Oh, yep, wasn't supposed to drop that either, but it happens. You can see it's gear driven. The gear's right there. So our vacuum hose is right here. We'll just slip it off. A little bit different than an old 12 leaker. That's what I'm used to working on most of the time. But it ain't much different. So let's see if we can get this thing ripped out of here. Sit that down. Y'all might not be able to see very good, but let me just get it ripped out and I'll get y'all back to seeing. Okay. Alright, here we go. Alright guys, here's our vacuum pump. So our seal is right inside here. So we'll get to tearing it apart. I'm just gonna, this is the gasket for the engine side. Probably reuse it, but I think the kit came with a new one. Just have to check that out real quick and see. Sure it looks the same. Oh man, yeah, it's exactly the same. Alright, sweet. So our kit should work out just like we want it to. That's our seal that we need to replace. That's the one that's leaking. That should be the one inside there. Hopefully. But, like I said, not 100% sure. So you can see where our teeth go in for our pump here, our power steering pump, where our teeth slide in. So but besides that, we'll get this thing, figure out how to tear this thing apart and get that seal changed. I'm pretty sure we're just going to be taking this bolt and this bolt out here, and we should just split that in half, and then I should be able to get to that seal better, hopefully. but we'll figure it out. See, this is where I was having trouble. This was here. It was spinning. It wasn't coming loose. Unless it's coming loose there. We're going to get this cleaned up, make sure it's not damaged. So, guys, we got our fitting out. This is our 11 millimeter. It goes in this hole right here in the back, or bottom. And then, once we got it out, we took the 11 millimeter. It goes this way. We took the 11 millimeter onto here, and we took a 9/16 onto here, loosened it off. We got our intercooler pipe cleaned up. We started cleaning both of the power steering pump and the vacuum pump, and we still need to clean our Banks high rim. But besides that, we're gonna get these two bolts took out, get this vacuum pump split, so we can maybe change that seal out. All right, so this is a 1/2 inch, and it's tight. So we're at the top. Try shooting, I guess. Alright, got it loose. Flip it over. Get this one loose. Maybe won't be as tight, probably is. Change this up a little bit. We'll go over here to the vise. Don't want to tighten it too much. Don't want to crack anything that don't need to be cracked. There we go. A little bit easier that way, because they are tight. Come back over here. Oh yeah, that's nice. Alright guys. There's your ring. Here's inside your vacuum pump. Then that's how it works. We got to get the seal out of here, guys. So got a coupler or holding. This right here got to be pressed out. This, you can see the indentation where it's pressed in. Then our seal is right behind it. It's what it is. It's a retainer, I guess. Then you'll flip it over. Get your cross. Make sure when you do it, that indentation that's right there, make sure when you put it back together, that indentation is facing this side towards you, like this way. And but just get you a socket. This is 3/4 socket, just something that kind of fits that whole area. You'll put it in, and you'll just knock it out. going to use a death blow so I don't damage my socket. Alright, you see, it's empty. And then right there's our oil seal. And that is what is causing our leak. So you'll already see this seal here. We'll replace it. It comes with the actual seal, this O-ring, which is for this, and our kit comes with this O-ring, which goes inside this little groove here. So we have pretty much everything, and then you got your gasket that goes on this side to go up against the engine. So all right, now we'll take this and we'll take a punch or something, and we'll knock out that seal. Guys, I got the cross out of the way. I put it in there. You can't see the dimple. It's supposed to be facing the other way. So now we're gonna take our handy dandy punch here and get a different hammer. Got the seal out, like that. Take that seal, it's no good, throw it away. Now, get me a clean rag. We're going to clean up this housing. Make sure it's clean on the inside, no burrs, all that good stuff. I got the O-ring, the new O-ring put on already, and so, see, pretty clean looking, better than, you know, some. So we'll set that down, and then before we press all of it back in, I'm going to try to clean up this side of the housing. Alright guys, it's pretty clean in there now. Set that off to the side. Our new seal here, we'll just drop it pretty straight inside there and get you something that's about the same size as the housing. This just so happens to be a 1 1/8". It fits that seal pretty snug, so we're going to use it. We're just going to push it down in there, and there you go. You didn't even have to hit it, you just push it in there. Seals pretty good looking. So now, since that's done, this will just drop back down in like that. I'm going to put something on the O-ring so it doesn't roll and rip, because you don't want to do that. So alright guys, we got some engine assembly lube here. We're just going to use it to put around there. Should help. The engine assembly lube, I use it on like lifters. I use it on lifters and some other things like camshafts, whatever I'm working on. But we're gonna push this. I'll push that down in there. There we go. It popped in. Then we'll just keep going. So now it popped in. Now we'll have to press the rest of it down to that lip right there. I can see it somewhat. I can zoom in. That lip right there, we'll press it down to there. Find us a socket that fits that. The reason I'm using sockets is to help y'all out, because y'all don't have all the press tools. So this is a 36mm. It's a common socket for like axle nuts and stuff, so should have one. We got it all the way down to the lip. You can see your crosshairs still in there. Flip it over. Our crosshairs are right there, and there's our dimple still on this side. So now then, come over here. We got the new O-ring in. The little O-ring is in there all the way around. You gotta make sure it doesn't roll up because you don't want to crush it in between there. Then it'll leak, and you won't have vacuum pressure. So you want to make sure that's good. And then the new O-ring and the new seal's in. So now we'll just set this back up there. And then on your orientation of how it goes, there is a line-up hole right there to this little stud, so you can just slide it right in there. Then you have to line up the crosshairs up here. Alright, my crosshairs just lined up, and pull it up real quick, make sure our O-ring's still good. And then I'll go get my bolts. Set this down. So I'm having a little trouble this morning. Alright guys, my battery went low, it died. So anyhow, back to where we were at. Just put back in the holder. Alright. Now, I got the bolts. Like I said, they're 1/2 inch. 13 works also, but I think the half inch fits better, so we'll get those snugged up on there. Pick it back up. This one back on. We're going to put it back in the vise and make sure we get it snugged up pretty tight. So, nice and snug because they were pretty tight coming off. So dodged around a little lot, so it won't hurt to snug them up. Take it loose, and there you go, guys. That's a reseal right there. You can see our teeth are lined back up, or whatever they call them. I'd call them like teeth because they line up, but probably got a different name than that. But we got it all back together, tightened up. So now, going back together with it, I'm going to try something different. I think I'm going to put the power steering pump back on it and do that assembly. And then, after I get the power steering assembly put back on here, then I'm going to slide the whole assembly in and just bolt up the 2 bolts. I think that might be easier. I'm going to get some red Loctite and re-thread that piece in, and hopefully it'll dry. So next time, I can actually take the deal off this side and leave it on the engine side. So take the, I want to say it's probably a feed line because it can drain out into the engine side since it's gear driven. So anyhow, I'm gonna put the line fitting in, and then with Loctite, and then I'm just gonna screw the line back on it. So, alright guys, we got the hole cleaned up. That's some red Loctite here. Make sure it's on there good. Alright, because I don't want this spinning if I ever have to take it off again. So set that in there, spin it in there like that, get me a wrench, and I don't want to over tighten it because you don't want your housing to crack. You just want to get it snug. Alright, that's pretty snug right there. I don't want to overdo it. I got some red Loctite on the threads here. I don't want it on those threads, so we're gonna wipe her off a little bit. Make sure she's clean. Put my lid back on my red Loctite for future use. Yeah, once we get everything done with this truck here, we get the vacuum pump, we get the heater core, the compressor, or not compressor, the evaporator, and then the starter fixed, the red truck, we'll be jumping back on it. We're gonna pull that. We're gonna need to be pulling the whole front assembly off. I got some wood dials to hold the lifters, or the tappets, and we're gonna pull all that off, and we're gonna reseal that whole front end because it's leaking bad. And then on it also, I do have a leak coming. I think the vacuum pump is leaking on that truck also. So while we're there, we're probably gonna do the same thing that we did here. We're gonna do a reseal on this, and then this fitting here is it spins on it, and I don't think that's normal. So we're gonna have to figure out how to tighten it, and I might do the same thing. And when we have it apart, we'll find out more. I don't know, maybe the threads are stripped in it, but I tried to tighten it and it wasn't tightening. So maybe we just have a seal leak just like this one, because they both have about the same amount of miles. We got 125,000 on that red truck, and then the silver truck that this came off of, it only has 113. It's about time for an oil change. So, but I'll be doing all that. We'll be doing an oil change. We might do a fuel filter, and then I'll put a new air filter back on it. But so that's it, guys. That's how you rebuild the vacuum pump, and then the rest of this video we'll be putting it all back together and installing it. So, alright guys, we're here at the house. It looks pretty good. Now, the silver was a little off because I wanted to go a little darker silver to go kind of close to this silver, but it is what it is, I guess. It's no matter. No one's really gonna see it. So now we got that's clean. Everything's about ready. We're gonna slap this thing in there. Hopefully it works out how I want. I do not have this tightened all the way yet. It's still loose because I want to be able to adjust it and everything to get it lined up. Once it's in there and adjusted right, then we'll take the wrench and we'll tighten it up. So we'll come over here. We got a pretty good size hole there. We should be able to get that in by what I've learned doing this so far, guys. Supposed to take this off in one piece, so we're gonna see how that goes, because I took it off in two pieces, which is, like, I guess the hardest way to do it. Now we're gonna try to put it back together the easiest way. Pull it back out. There's one thing. This one bottom bolt right here has to go on last, and the reason is you got to get the pump in there and slide this bolt inside this bracket, which is an extra support. You see the bracket hanging off there, right there. So we'll get it slid back in there. Man, we got a mess down there. Maybe after we get this done, we might do some cleaning up. But anyhow, we'll get this bolt right here took back off, and then we'll slide it in. So, all right, guys. I got the hole lined up where it's supposed to be. So now our hole is lined up. I should be able to get a bolt in here. So, take our bolt, like I said the first time. we'll slide that thing in there and we'll put them in so they line up now. But yes, that bracket on the bottom, that bottom bolt that goes in the this one right here, I'll show y'all real quick, and then I'm gonna put the rest of this together, and after that the next y'all should see is me being done with it. So this bolt right here, man, I do this every time. Alright, I'm gonna start it, go turn that light off and show y'all again. Okay, light, taking it, bottom. Alright, show y'all again. That one right there, the one that has the nut on it, that is the one that you got to put on last. So you will have to take that one off no matter what because of the bracket. But the rest of them you don't have to. You can take the two 15s off, pull the whole pump assembly. Man, that thing looks shiny in there. It looks better than the rest of this thing. It's just covered in oil because of it. Alright. So, I will get back with y'all when I get it all bolted up. We should be. Guys, we got the vacuum pump on. It is all installed. The power steering pump is all hooked up. We got this. We got all three lines hooked up on the power steering pump. We got our brackets tightened. We got our wires with the nuts back on. The retainers, holders, whatever keeps them in place, whatever y'all want to call those. We got both this top one and the bottom one down here on the power and steering pump, and then the one on the top for the bolt that holds the vacuum pump on. We got both of those installed, and now we just gotta put our banks on right here, our old high ram. But before we do that, we're gonna make it easy on ourselves, and we're gonna slap this in first. So, guys, it is all back in one piece, dirty-ish, but we'll get it all cleaned up. We'll spray some good stuff on there, rinse it off, you know, like we're supposed to. Looks like we need to replace this vacuum line because it looks just terrible. The old Dodge key. So this thing says. I filled it up with power steering fluid. Not enough oil. Guys, it's not all wet and oily coming out of it, so that's a good sign. Guys, that's going to do it for this video. Thanks for watching, and again, hit that like button if you could. It helps out a lot. And if you are new to the channel or watching this video and you liked it, hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and we'll see y'all in the next video, guys.